Hiya, it's Kerry from Mobilates, and I'm here with you for 30 minutes with Virtual Village Hall, and we're going to do some really gentle exercise. Standing, we can do it sitting, you can do it sitting on the edge of your bed, and we're going to do a lying down section as well, which might be lying down on your floor, or pull the duvet back and use your bed and just be on top of the mattress. So however works for you. Do pop in and say hello. I'm going to check that I can see the comments. There we go. So you can give it hello. Oh, hello, Irene. Nice to have you here. And you can, if it's your first time, let me know. If there's something that I do that you really like, a favourite move, that's really good to know. Something that I do that you don't like, or you've got a little question about how do you do it for your condition, anything like that. I'm going to look at the comments afterwards. I keep an eye on as they pop up. And Virtual Village Hall are always there to keep an eye on them too and let you know that we've seen them. Shall we get started? Let's take our feet a bit wider, standing or sitting. You can see I've got a little bit of a sway on. I always like to do that, finding the weight in my feet, finding the weight in your sitting bones. That's the bumpy bits of your bottom if you're sitting. A hand on your chest, a hand on your belly, and then let your belly relax like you've just undone a button or a zip. And we can do that with a sigh. Take a breath in. Into your chest, into your solar plexus, into your belly. And then sigh it out. And then just breathing. Let your belly feel some of that breath. In through the nose and out through the mouth or the nose. You might hear, I've got a visitor with me today. I don't know if you can see her at the very bottom. She just snuck in and snuck out. That was Buffy, my cat. She's just snuck in and out again and gave me a meow. Keep your breathing going. Close your eyes if you want to. And feeling that swell and deflation under your hands. Couple more. Last one. And that just makes everything else go away, brings us into the moment, bringing your feet a little closer now so that they're parallel. If you look down, room for a book. It's always a good guide, a paperback book, not a big coffee table book. And then grow tall. So feel that lengthening in your body. Oh, love it. Right, let's take our head back a little. We'll take our our ear towards our shoulder. And then pivot in the center. And to the other shoulder. And the pivot, if I put my finger there, that's the pivot point, the chin in the center. So I stay looking forward at you. You stay looking at me. I can't see you, but I'm imagining you there. That's it. Oh, is there another hello over there? Jean, hello. Sorry, running late. No worries. I know some of you get to this for a catch-up time instead as well. So if I'm seeing you in catch-up, hello. Turning your head from side to side. Stop in the center. Feel like you're leaning against a wall. And let's have a neck roll. So long neck. Feel like the back of your head's just about to rest against something. Dip your chin down and then to one side and then the other. And how far you want to go. I go in what I would call a generous sort of semicircle if I show you from the side. But I've seen people in class go further and they go almost in a circle. It's what feels nice for you. This is my level of comfort. I'm sticking in that for this one. Last one. And grow tall. Feel your head over your shoulders, ribs over your pelvis and hips. And that balance in your feet or your sitting bones, depending if you're standing or sitting. And from here, we're going to just work from the back. There isn't much to see on this one, but I'm thinking about shoulder blades here and just giving them a little bit of round movement. And you see my shoulders do this little sort of wriggle. So just feeling that And it can be super small. It might be like that, a tiny little movement. I'll come in close. If I show you from the back, I don't know if you're just going to see the slight shadows on my top. You might do. And then the hard thing, take it the other way. So you're going to see arms look like they're just coming over, like a little shrug. And then let's go for our usual shoulder rolls. Breathing in as they come up, out as they go round and back. Nice and slow. Slow it right down. That's good. And if you're sitting, I'd like you now to slide your hands up and down your thighs and let your waist turn. Your head just goes with the rest of your body. If you're standing, you might want your legs a little wider and just let your arms float. I do apologise, my knees love to click on this one. It doesn't hurt, it's just noisy. So if you get that clicking sound coming through, it's just my knees. And then if you're sitting, letting those arms float around you too. I always think of the hands scooping water, and then it can go a little higher. You can be using your knee just gently in the chair, but we're not trying to ring ourselves up, sort of squeeze right around. It's gentle. And if you have osteoporosis, stick at around this level. So you've got some turn, like if you were going to turn and get out of a car, for instance, reaching for the door and turning yourself around, but you're not really putting pressure on your spine. And keep tall. That's it. And then bring yourself back to the center. And then we're going to turn our palms so they're outwards. Elbows, nestle them into your waist. You can have little fists if you like. We're just going to bring them up towards our shoulders. Little squeeze. That's it. And you're trying to touch. You can even bring your hands out and see if you can touch your shoulders. You might be miles away or you might be really close. And then we're going to take our hands up towards our shoulders this way, elbows out to the side. Soften the knees if you're standing. Let your body turn with this movement. The elbows are drawing big circles. You can see my feet are moving. And just letting your body turn. Oh, and all the clicks happen as well. Yeah, they're happening too. And then bring it back to the center. And we're going to take that same sort of movement there, but we're going to put some side bends into it. So have a little wriggle each side. And then we're going to lean to one side, open the arms up, bring them back, stand tall in the center. We can do that again. And then a little lean to the other side, or you can stop there or open them up, bring them back to the center. Circle, circle, bend, open, like you're stretching something, like an elastic band between your fingers. And then bring it back, grow tall, last one, little side bend, open up as far as you want to. Bring them back, up to the center, look down to your feet. I'm going to move back so you can see my toes. I have my toe socks on. I'm going to give my toes a little wriggle. Try and spread your toes out. Look at them. Your hands can do the same. I think it helps. Just try and take up space on the floor so you can see a bit of floor between your toes if you're really lucky. And then can you lift your toes up and down? I know it's hard. There might not be much happening, or you might get like one toe here and one toe over there. And rest them down, spread them out, grow tall. Let's have the heels up. You can definitely use something to help you with balance. Have your fingers lightly on something, or both hands resting, and you could have the chair in front of you, up and down. You can have your arms going out to the side if that helps. And you could go a tiny distance up, or you can take it really high. Oh, I felt a big clunky click in the ankle there. But it feels nice to go tall. And this is great for the calves. Last one. Bringing it down. And next, where are we going next? Oh yes, a little balance. So we're going to try and take our leg backwards. I'll show you the standing version, which looks a bit like you're about to go and do for a run. And then we'll look at the sitting version. So here's the standing version. My weight's forwards. I'm leaning over this leg, which is very slightly bent, but it could be straight. Feels nice and bent to me. I'm going to even my hips out so I'm not leaning over. I've got this leg back. That might be enough. You could balance on the tip of your toe. You could lift it up and down, or try and hold it up, and the arms could come out to the side and they could hold on to something. That's the sitting version. The standing version even. If you're sitting, come forward in your chair. Take one leg back as much as it will go. Lean forward into the front leg. The weight's here. You might feel it on your bottom. The glutes sort of have a little clench, well, a little sort of activation. We're not actually squeezing them. You just feel stuff going on. And then bring it forwards. That's it. And then we're going to go to the other side. So I'm going to turn around. I'm taking the weight into this foot. Remember, you could have something to help you balance. Take the other foot back. Could be just resting your toe. If I show you from the front, I'm trying, I don't want to be like wonky like this. I want to be straight forward. And I'm leaning a little forwards. And that could be the balance. Or that foot could come off. You might find your body wants to tip a little further forward, especially if it's uncomfortable in the back, and that's okay. God, I'm going to need my arms out for that one. So you might be like this, and that leg could go up and down. Or you might be sitting down, shuffling forwards, taking this knee back as far as your chair will allow, leaning forwards. You might get this foot off the floor. If I lift up, that leg has lifted that foot off the floor. I'm sort of sliding the foot under the chair. That's it. And you can come in and out. That's it. And then rest both legs. If you're standing, give it a little wiggle. If you're sitting, little in and out with the legs. And then if you're sitting, I'd like you to take one foot out, then the other foot out, and hinge forwards using your hands. Press back up, one foot out, the other foot and leg out, hinge forwards. Hands can be like this. I like them out to the side, just feels more comfortable for my wrists. And I'm using my arms to push myself up. If you're standing, we're going to do similar sort of thing. So we're going to take a step out and a step back. And then we're going to have a little bottom back and stand up. So if I show you from the side, little step out and another step. And then little squat and push yourself up. Now these steps could be smaller with less bend in your knee. And that squat could be just the hip hinge, the bottom going back. I'll leave it to you how low you want to go. Think Space Invader walk, you know, that sort of walk. It's a bit like that. Right, or a sort of sumo walk. And how wide your legs go, well, what's comfortable for you. And then you can stay on this if you like. Same if you're sitting. Just stay on that, hinging forwards, pressing into the feet, pushing upright, hinging forwards, pushing upright. Last one, hinging forwards, pushing upright. And then let's work the upper body. Elbows in at the waist. We come back to where we were at the start with this one, giving our shoulders a little tap. And then offer out to the side. So a little tap upwards, offering out to the side like your hand's a little plate. Hands towards the shoulders, offer out to the side. If it hurts on one side, go one side and then the other. And then that allows you to be more conscious about how much movement you want to do on that side. Or you can go back to doubles, working together. And then the arms, once they've come out to the sides like this, let them reach a little further out and in. Out, in, out, in, out. Bring the heels up if you like, in, out, in. You could even bring your feet a little closer together. Oh, I'm being ambitious. Woo-hoo. And then your arms can drift a little and go in and out. You can even, when you go out, turn your hands over, bring them down, back to the beginning. Could even put in a little tap, or all the choreography today. Last one. And then take your legs a little wider. Imagine that you're hula hooping and it's your lower body and your upper body is still. If you're sitting, just think about, can't really keep the upper body still when you're sitting because the movement has to go somewhere and the chair's stopping anything. So you can have more of a wriggle going on with this. And then take it the other way. That's it. If I show you from the side, you can see everything moving. And then we're going to take it to some roll downs. So stick your bottom back, bend in the knees as much as you want to. It can be a little bend, that's my bend, or it could be really low. Hands on the thighs, tuck your bottom under and let that curve spread at the back until you stand. And if you're sitting, legs a little wider, come to the edge of your chair, hinge forwards. Start to tuck your bottom under, so you're pulling backwards. And then push through your thighs. You're pushing your arms into your thighs until your head's upright. Hinge forwards, tuck under. And then let's make our way down to the floor. You might want a cushion for your head, so you can be really comfortable. You know me, best to be as comfortable as possible. Grab a drink if you want to. I'm reminded as I look at the Virtual Village Hall chat next week, we have Mind Space Week. Now, you know, every week we're very mindful in what we do, but it's a whole week of mindfulness and mindful practices, different sorts. So I'll be here in my usual time and it will be sort of extra mindful. But there are lots of other activities, so keep an eye on Virtual Village Hall feed to see what's coming up. Right. I think I'm going to have that cushion under my head. So lying on your back, taking some time to get yourself comfortable, a bit of room below and above. And think what's the part of you that needs that time. For me, I think it's in my hips, but for you, it might be your head, getting your head comfortable, checking that you're looking up, not behind you. Might be getting the shoulders and the neck comfortable. And then rest your arms wherever feels good. And let your head turn from one side to the center to the other. Rest in the middle and just push back into your pillow. So just going slightly downwards, just a little. And then a turn, one side and the other. And just pushing a little back. You can feel a bit of fullness under the chin. Turn one more, push back and relax. And then we're going for one leg in towards our chest. So bring that knee towards you. You can hold here on your shin or underneath on your thigh. Don't mind. Feel your bottom sort of come up. You get this curve in your lower back. Embrace it. So just pull that in towards you. You can have a little sway. And then take it down. And the other side the same. Pull it in. Have a little rock. You might find one side goes in more than the other. And then the same again. That's it. And then bring both legs into your chest. We're going to start one leg coming towards us and one leg moving away. Start with this other leg going high towards the ceiling. And I've got a long foot, just so my leg is stretched all the way along, but I'm not really crunching the toes over because I know I'll get cramp. And keep that going. Now, as you do this, the lower your legs go, the harder you have to work here. So you want to feel that you can control it and that your belly isn't suddenly going in, out, back, trying to pop off the floor. You feel that you're working but you've got a grip on it. You're in control. So if you're in control up here, stay up here. If you can go lower and work your way lower and lower, you might even find you can get to the point where you're just gliding, hovering along over the floor. But you want to feel that this is controlled. It's not doing that and popping away. And you're same with your head, actually. You'll find that your head's not doing that. It's staying settled. I won't deny it's quite hard. So you can always ease off and go a bit higher and a bit faster, or slow it down. And if you are feeling very strong here today, you might pin your head up and just look through the legs here. I've got a plant over there. I'm just looking at the plant. And you can even hold your head and support it and just let the legs do their thing. Oh, I can definitely feel that. Let's take it down. Rest the legs down. Rest the arms down and give the legs a little sway. You deserve it. And maybe take them wider and let them have a little sway if that's comfortable. If it's not, just keep them where they were. And then bring them back. Just have to bring my clock down, otherwise I'm going to lose track of time. Now we're going to take the pillow away, because we're going to press and come upwards like that. So we don't usually want a pillow behind us at that time. Arms down by your sides. And we're not going to go up straight away. Let's take it gradually. So take a breath in. Feel your ribs expand and take up space on your floor, your bed, your mat, whatever you're using. And as you breathe out, I want you to tilt your pubic bone towards you. And you feel your belly, instead of sticking out, it's trying to do that sort of scooping, like an inward curve. There might be a lot of outward curve on your belly, but it's just feeling that sort of scooping feeling. That's it. And then roll forwards, and that's when your belly feels rounder and more sort of outy. Tipping back and rolling forwards. Now it's only your pelvis, so what we'll do to make sure that our head doesn't start doing this is put our hands on our thighs, just give a little push, just so you can lengthen your spine, and now repeat it. Oh, that feels more stretched out. That's better. And just doing this with your breath, breathing out as it comes, your pubic bone towards you, and breathing in as it goes away. On this next one, same curve, but let's come higher. Press through your feet, try to keep your knees the same distance apart, and rolling your back up slowly away from the floor to your level. So as high as I want you to go is a diagonal between knee and shoulder. Don't need to do that because that's just hyperextending your back. We don't need that today. And if it's lower, because that's more comfortable for your head and neck, think of having some of these ribs, shoulder blades on the floor, especially if you have osteoporosis, just less weight. And then rolling down, seeing if you can get it bit by bit by bit right to the end of your tailbone, the end of your spine. And then we're going to go up again. Breath in, breathing out, rolling it up. That's it. Take it up. Arms reaching down. You're lightly pressing through your arms. Keeping those knees so they're not going out. We're just having them pointing ahead. See if you can get your big toe to press down on the floor on each foot. That wakes things up a little bit. Rolling down. Nice and slow. And then we're going to go up again. Breath in. Breathing out, pushing up. This time we're going to go up there and stay there. You can squeeze your glutes if you want to. Squeeze your bum cheeks together. We're going to try and lift a heel off the floor. That's my right foot. And down. And then my left foot. And down. If that's really hard, just stick with that. Or just stand like this. That sort of standing. If you can, we'll try and hover that foot off the floor and keep this raised and even, and the other foot off the floor. Definitely feel my arms having to take over a little bit here. Just taking that little step off the floor. It might be a tiny hover, and then roll it down. Just have a moment, let it settle, have a wriggle. We'll try one more, breath in. Starting your tilt, pushing, coming up. Now it could be a heel, could be a foot, it could be that knee comes right up. And it's just the other foot. You really have to press through, think of that big toe. Yeah, lovely. Take this foot down, roll yourself down. One more to even up, breath in. Breath out, rolling yourself up. Either taking the heel of your other foot, I'm on my left foot, the whole foot, bringing your leg up to that tabletop 90 degrees if you can. Keep this even. Hold it. Press the big toe of this support leg down. Oh, take the foot down. Roll yourself down. Bring your knees wide and into your chest again. Have a little roll around. That's it. Well done. Right, let's take our feet together and the knees wide. And we're going to push our feet away and our knees in. And you can have your hands on the sides of your legs. Now, the higher up you go, the easier it is. So if you go higher up, there's less strain on the back. And your legs don't have to straighten. But try and keep your heels together. And so your feet are sort of turning out in a V. It's a bit like that sort of frog leg position that you have when you're doing breaststroke in the water and you go outwards like that. We're not going to go outwards, keeping the feet together. Just press away. Now your arms can stay holding your legs. They could go wide, giving you a bit more support, or narrow, or they could float upwards and just be reaching up towards the ceiling. Rest your shoulders down. Now the lower the legs get, the harder work it gets. And you reach a point where you think, actually, that's too much. So find, are you up here? Are you over there? Are you lower? This is a good place for me. About here feels good. Option, just take the arms back a little as you do this. And then forwards, give the feet a little tap. Back and forwards. You're just making bigger shapes. Might look like that. Might look more like that. So the legs go higher. Have your fingers together or your arms apart. I quite like these fingers sort of touch together, fingertips, because it feels like they're making a similar sort of position. Couple more of these. And then bring those legs in again and sway, rock, be still if that's better. And then roll over to your side. From this position, push yourself up. We're going to do a little seated work. So, sitting with your legs bent and your feet down. If this feels a bit tight, you can let your legs come out to the side. Feet with a bit of distance or closer together. It doesn't matter too much. Hands under your thighs and pull yourself upright. So you've got height. And then we're going to use these hands to help us and just hinge yourself back with a straight back and forwards. Now you can use your hands to really do the work here and work your arm muscles. Or if your belly area is feeling stronger, you can let a hand go as you do this. And then the other hand, the other arm go out to the side. I'm breathing out as I go back and in as I come forwards. If my legs were turned out, I could be looking like this. I find that harder, I think. And you could also rest your hands here on the chest. Give your shoulders a little wriggle. More effort sitting up. And then hinge back and forwards, back and forwards. You might even think, actually, I find it more comfortable with the legs straight, but I don't want to go as far back like that. It's whatever feels good to you. I think a little bend is nice. Could have your heels like this. And we can add a little turn. Back and a little turn. Back and a little turn. Back and a little turn. That was the last one. And bring yourself to a comfortable sitting position to finish. I'm going for cross-legged, but anything that feels good. Sitting upright. And let's have some side bends. Leaning over. Press your bottom down so it doesn't feel like it's rocking away. Then you'll get more stretch at the side. Bring it up. Tall. Lean over. Stretching over. Back to the center. Reach forward like you're trying to touch someone's hand. Bring it back. Touch someone else's hand. Let's bring our shoulders up with the breath in. Breath out, melt them down. Palms out to the sides, scoop up the air. Bring your fingers into touch. Bring your hands to your chest. You've just done another 30 minutes. Really gentle, mindful exercise. I hope you enjoyed it. Anything you want to ask in the questions. And I'll see you again next week for the Mind Space week. So it'll be at the usual time, but just a little extra mindful stuff. Have a lovely week. Namaste, Irene. And goodbye, everybody. See you soon.